you know,
For
like,
sure. I mean, sometimes I'll just walk down the street and I'll just like smell the air
yeah,
and
dude,
just be and just and I'm just like, that's nice.
that's the
Nice
Oregon
misty.
Country Fair coming out in you right there.
Listen, I'm a hippie, dog. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
I like I
know.
said, I don't wear hemp clothes, but it's in my essence.
Yeah, you got hemp blood.
I got hemp blood.
Yeah, it's in there. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another special Oregon Country Fair edition of Jokes in the Gym. And all that means is that I'm going to be interviewing some folks that are performers who have performed on the Oregon Country Fair stages or have been to Oregon Country Fair, because that's something that I've been involved in the last couple of years, and it's been an awesome part of my life and a highlight of my year, and something I'm really looking forward to being a part of moving forward. And my guest today, Devin Jones, is a person who's gone to fair for many years, for almost 20 years. We get into the details of how long he's gone. We talk about some of how he chooses to deal with fair experiences. I really like Devin. Devin's such a good guy, and it's been fun to see him coming up these past few years here in Eugene and Lane County and across the Northwest. So I had such a fun time hosting the shows with him last year. I hosted all the fairly legal comedy shows at Oregon Country Fair last year, and this year he hosted the Sunday show over at Spirit Tower again, and it was a blast. So he's always bringing the joy. He's bringing the love. He's a positive influence here in the scene, and we talk about what his plans for the future might be, how he has dealt with a variety of circumstances in his life. He's gone through a lot of loss over the years, and we talk about tradition, and we talk about his health and how he kind of has approached athletics over the years and where he is now and how he's feeling about stuff. So I'm stoked that we got to hang out a little bit and chat about fair and connect. And we talk a lot about connection, and that's really important to both of us. And you can see it in what he does and in the shows that he produces. So I'm excited that you get to hang out with us a little bit. And I'm not gonna talk too much on the intro today because we have a great conversation. I'm ready to get this episode out. I want folks to be able to hear what we got to say about fair and comedy in the Northwest and a bunch of other stuff too. So thank you for stopping by, and I want to take a second to thank my very, very fake sponsor, Diggity Dogs Hot Dogs. Have you ever wanted a hot dog? Well, call Diggity Dogs. They've got hot dogs that aren't even dogs. They're not even hot. They're cold, and they're cats, and they're alive. So if you want a cold cat, go to Diggity Dogs Hot Dogs, where you can find cold cats. So that was today's fake advertisement, and without any further ado, I'd like to take a second to thank my guest once again, Devin Jones, for coming on the show, and thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with the one and only Devin Jones. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Jokes in the Gym with Rudy Tyburczy. I'm your host, Rudy Tyburczy, and I'm stoked to have my guest here today. He's a good friend of mine. He's co-hosted some wonderful shows with me at the Oregon Country Fair. He's been doing comedy around the Northwest for about the last 3 years. I'm excited to chat with him about his experiences in comedy and in health and fitness. I know he was a hooper for many years. Everyone put your hands together for Big Dev, Devin
Ow,
Jones. Woo, woo,
ow.
woo, woo. How you doing, Devin?
And I am excited to be on the podcast for sure.
Heck yeah,
Feeling good about it.
that's what I'm feeling. I like it. I'm happy to have you on. It's a Sunday right now. I've never loved Sundays. I'm going to be honest. How do you feel
I don't
about them?
either. I don't either. I mean, well, I grew up in a religious household with my granny,
Yeah.
and
So you're
she
going to
had
church and all that?
7 different wigs
Yeah.
for one day.
Yeah.
She put on 7 different wigs.
Yeah.
One at noon, one at 2, one at 3.
Yeah. This is the wig for tasting the body of Christ. This is the one for sitting in a chair. This is for singing. Oh yeah, I love it.
I'm a huge fan of Thursdays.
Thursdays. Ooh, I like a Thursday. I'll get down with the Thursday.
I don't know why. There's something about Thursday where it's like getting ready for the weekend and like I don't know.
There's so much excitement on a Thursday. You're not worn out from Friday.
Well, so we're gonna get into talking about fair stuff,
Yeah.
and that's so
Oh, yeah.
I hate my birthday.
You hate your birthday. Why? Is it on a Thursday?
I hate my birthday because there's so much expectation.
Ah, yeah, of course.
You have to have fun. You have to go out. You have to
No, I don't.
I don't. No, I don't. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
This is a man in his 20s saying this. So you know birthdays are overhyped if somebody in their 20s is already done.
I'm telling you, late 20s now.
Late 20s. I didn't say anything about any area of 20s, just I knew a decade.
When I was a kid, everybody thought I was older.
Yeah.
And then I got into like my early 20s, everybody thought I was younger. And
Yeah.
now people are like, all right,
Yeah.
I can tell how old you are.
They got a decent read on you. You know what? I will keep playing this card as long as I can. People keep thinking I'm in my 20s too. And I'm like, ooh, give me a hug.
It feels good, huh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping when I'm 35, I don't look 35, but I probably will look 42. So.
Well, I don't even care. I like being 40. I like being this age. You know, it's not bad. I'm not dead yet. But working out for 20 plus years, I think that's the secret sauce to like having people be like, oh, you don't look that age. So,
Oh yeah, no, of course. Easily.
you know,
I mean, and it's funny too because I'm gonna talk about Jericho a lot in this situation, but
I love it. Jericho's a good.
Yeah, he's my best friend. He's been my best friend since I was 12 years old, and we met at Country Fair. Actually, I mean,
Oh,
we
heck
met
yeah.
at school because I used to pancake against the wall playing basketball, and I'd pancake him against the wall, and then the ball would just bounce.
Just bloop, 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 bloop.
And I didn't really know his name or anything like that. I just thought that kid was super cool, and then we became really good friends at Country Fair,
I
2009.
love it.
So yeah, 15 years.
I love it. And now I work with Jericho at the Y, and he
Mhm.
was actually involved in our show last year. He played one of the biggest roles, in fact, I would say, for any non-comedian. He bought the burrito that Hazel J ate. He was in line. I was like, oh my God, Jericho, can you help us out?
See, that's where he'd be slacking because I was like, "Will you donate a burrito?"
I gave him
No.
$10. I was like, here, Jericho. He was already in line. I was like, hey, can you get this burrito? And for those of you who don't know, Devin and I, last year and this year, we co-hosted a show at Fair. We called it Fairly Legal. I might be changing the name. We'll see, though. I'm not quite sure.
Country Fair needs. We can't be doing fairly legal.
Yeah, here's my thing. I was talking to
They have a history.
Yeah,
Love Country Fair. Love
right.
Country
Exactly. It's just also a joke I don't want to make with every like person over 60 that I talk with. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't, it's not I don't mind the joke. I like it. It's fun. It's a play on words, blah, blah, blah. But it's just not daytime friendly necessarily.
Yeah.
And so we're
gonna do a night show next year.
Dude, I'm going to apply with the night show. That's one of my big thoughts moving forward.
How do you apply differently?
I'll just apply again with the separate show. I'll apply with the show that we've got now. So with the Fair Flow comedy show with the challenges and the day and that kind of stuff. But I'm also going to be talking with folks to see if that's a possibility because I would love to do an 11:30 show. We do an 11:30 show that's a variety show. It can change as much as we want. It can be current and up to the date.
Whatever.
Oh, it would be a blast. It would be so much fun. So, Devin and I have co-hosted these shows and performed on these shows for the last couple of years, and it's so cool to find a country fair comedy show that kind of is in alignment with fair, right? Doesn't it feel like it fits with fair the way we've been doing it?
Of course. I think, there's something about, growing up there's that magic that you have, and you see something. And when you're walking down the 8, for those who don't know, the country fair is an 8.
The map looks like an 8. I say it's 8 8s. It's like a 64 dog.
It used to be just an 8, and now it's 8-ish.
Yeah.
It's like 8:35 or something like that.
Yeah, it's around 8.
But when you're walking around the 8, you are just waiting for somebody to give you some energy, give you some love, give you some compassion. And I wanted to talk about that too with you about the doing the spoken word stuff was awesome. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because you
saying?
you didn't just do comedy this year. You also worked with Jora LaFleur, who's going to be my guest next week.
Hell yeah.
And you did spoken word. So
Yes.
how is that kind of straddling those two worlds, spoken word and stand up at
So yeah,
Oregon Country Fair?
I call myself Eugene's Jamie Foxx.
What's
Uh,
Eugene's equivalent of an Oscar?
um, a slice of pizza from the za cart from Jeff.
There you go. Yeah, Jeff's like, oh, you get a slice of pizza. That would be pretty amazing. You're walking down the street. Jeff's like, oh, you're the guy. You get a piece of
Jeff
pizza.
Jeff is the he's the not real mayor of Eugene, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the
Okay.
mayor. He's the mayor.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
a
I
man.
don't even know who the mayor is, honestly. Jeff is the mayor.
It's somebody. They're around. They do something. I don't know. What does a mayor do besides hold oversized scissors? I feel like that's a
I
big part of the
I think that's
job.
just like Powerpuff Girls stuff, right?
Yeah.
What was the
I'm not trying to diss on mayors. I'm sure they do plenty of work. I just don't know what it is.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it, big dog. You lie to your mama, not to me, okay?
Well, I low key want to be a mayor someday. I don't even know what a mayor does, but I want to be like, oh, it's Mayor Rudy, and I'm like, I don't know, here's a sign to put in your street. What happens to the mayor?
I know like 3 people who have ran for mayor.
Oh hell yeah.
If I know 3 people who have ran for mayor, that means that job ain't shit.
Okay, yeah. One of them was not Kitty Piercy. I'm guessing you don't know Kitty Piercy.
No.
What? You know Kitty?
I met Kitty back in the day because my middle school, I went to Spencer Butte Middle School, and we were the first all green school in the state, I believe. Maybe the district, but I think it was the state. And she
Oh,
came and like did like a ribbon cutting,
heck
and
yeah,
yeah,
big scissors, baby.
it was cool.
Yeah,
We were all green school, so we like had our own vegetable garden that supplied the cafeteria,
sweet.
and we were completely, like what's that called? Where everything.
Sustainable,
There we
self-sustainable.
go. Thank you. See, Rudy, I wouldn't be able to do this without you.
You did a circle, yeah,
Yeah.
and that makes sense. That's sign language for self-sustaining, I think. So you've been at Fair for how long? How many years have you been going to Oregon Country Fair?
I am third generation, 18 years.
18 years at Fair. Hot
It's funny too
dog.
because I don't dress like a hippie. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually rocking my Alcyon hat,
Yeah,
but I
heck
don't dress
yeah.
like a hippie. So when I tell like these dudes from Iowa who have been there for like 4 years that I've been coming for 18 years, they're like, they don't
Yeah.
believe it. They don't believe it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the nice things about Fair is that it really doesn't matter what your deal is. Like, it doesn't
No, it
matter how
doesn't.
you dress.
We're excited. Well, yeah, no, I know. I agree. I'm starting a new thing. It's going to be Jersey Thursdays. So I was talking
Mm.
to one of my OGs, and they love tradition out there.
Yeah,
It's all about tradition.
for sure.
They do the Lime Fridays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
certain things that just happen all the time. We did my like Fair family did or has done the Sunday soiree where it's
Hmm.
we just all come and hang out on Sunday and
Yeah,
get fucked up and just
yeah.
hang out. But they've been doing it for 24 years.
Oh, dang, fun.
Every Sunday they go back, you know what I'm saying, to this one campsite and we all just hang out and have an amazing time and eat charcuterie and
Hmm.
do all that kind of stuff. It's full, like it's amazing. And
Hmm.
I enjoyed that part of the fair, that traditional, stuff. But I also kind of hate it in the same sense because, like I
Hmm.
said, like what we were talking about earlier, every fair it's got to be different,
Hmm. Hmm.
So
They can't be the same. There's so many things. There's tens of thousands of things at play, and they're not all going to be the same. Some things are in
and people
similar
mess up.
waves.
Anybody who's going to country fair, I need you to know you can't recreate another fair.
Yeah.
you have to make each one its own thing.
Totally.
You know,
And that goes for both uh
and yeah.
years, like different years of the fair and different festivals, because I think people want to bring other vibes, other festivals in. It's like, oh, that's what a festival is or whatever, and it's not that. It's its own thing every year, it feels like.
A hundred, no, 100%, and so that's something that I was talking about with Jorah when I was doing the spoken word. So my spoken word is way different, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I got some like hip hop, flowy stuff. Like I said, I've started with activism and all that, but I my big point is if we can create that magic out there,
Mm-hmm.
we can take care of each other, make sure
Mm-hmm.
everybody feels safe,
Mm-hmm.
accepted, comfortable, loved,
Mm-hmm.
understood. We just can't leave it out there. We
Mm.
have to bring it back into the real world because that's not the real world out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the fake fairy magic land.
Yeah.
But we take all that power and all that wisdom and everything that I've learned growing up there, and
Mm-hmm.
I try to bring that, to everybody I meet.
Mm-hmm. There's Devin, the practical idealist, right there. I love it.
So,
So if you're inviting a friend to fair who's never been before, your friend who's maybe not even from Lane County or
oh, I've done it
whatever,
before for sure.
so what advice do you give them, or what do you try to impress upon them before they come?
I think that's the biggest thing, honestly. That's what my whole thing is. I don't want to get, so I called it, I think it was 2014. I called it the 2014 Devin Jones Fair Dip. Where if
Okay.
I didn't like the energy or the vibe that was going on, I would literally
Mm.
turn around and walk away. Some people would
Mm.
follow me, some people might
Mm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking away though. And I kind of, I brought that back into the real world where if I don't like what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to fight. I don't need to argue. I don't need to, what I'm saying, bicker. I can
Right.
just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
And I would say go find energy that you want to be around, you know?
Mm.
Don't be
Mm.
stuck in whatever situation that you're in. And I mean, I started taking mushrooms at like 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? So
There you go.
my
Devin
ego
was
is gone.
ready.
My
Yeah, it's
ego is
gone.
gone. It's shattered and then it became a new thing and then it shattered again and then it became a new thing. But
Yeah, it's all over the place. That sounds like an ego thrice reborn is what it sounds like. Well, I mean, that advice that you would give to somebody just coming out to fair for the first time is not unlike advice to give a person in the real world.
exactly. But sometimes it takes that situation to figure that out. You can't, like, people are so stuck on what people think of them, I guess. And like obviously as comedians,
Mm-hmm.
we literally go up and gauge what people think of us, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yep.
And
It's very apparent most of the time.
yeah, yeah, no, 100%. And so, but I think freeing yourself of that is like the coolest thing in the world. That like not
Mm-hmm.
being able to be held down by that type of stuff is like
Right.
really awesome.
I mean, honestly, that's something I have struggled with. Knowing not, I have a bit of rejection sensitivity. And so it feels like a lot sometimes when you don't get that response that you're looking for. If you're trying to do comedy, how do you try to let go of your ego in that realm? Is
You
that something
can't.
you can do?
You can't. You gotta fucking own that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta go up there every time and own it, you know. And it's hard. Like, not to mention no names, but yesterday I was not really feeling my funniest. I wasn't in my, but I went up and I just killed him,
Yeah.
you
You did
know.
the job.
Yeah,
That's the job of a comedian. The job of a comedian is to do it no matter how you're feeling. The job is to show up on time and do what you were told to asked to do, that you agreed to do.
yeah. No, I mean, asked to do, not told.
Yeah, agreed to do. Right,
100%.
agreed to do for whatever,
100%.
for
I
The
mean, people out there might not know me, but my best friend passed away last year,
mm,
and I had to take a good solid break,
for sure.
and I just I couldn't bear myself to feel funny. Like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't force myself to feel funny,
Right.
But now I talk about him every day, and it's a more positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about him in my sets. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? I got jokes about him, and I look at it as there's no words I can say that'll ever bring him back. But I had a
Right.
best friend for 20 years. Most
Mm-hmm.
people can't say they've had a best friend for two.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
how can
saying?
you honor that? How can you honor that moving forward?
By talking about him every day. My grandma passed away 18 years ago. My mom talks about her every single day, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's sad, obviously, but like doing that keeps them with us.
It keeps them with us, and it helps us move through our emotions. And it helps us, if you talk about them, then by definition, other people will know about them. And it'll make it so you're not alone. It'll make it so
Exactly.
you're not doing this thing alone.
My stepdad, my mom and stepdad have been together for 12 years. I don't know, something like that. He never
Mm-hmm.
met my grandma, but he
Hmm.
feels like he did.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. She's around her, her thoughts, words, teachings, love is around, and your family and that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
as our parents get older, as our family members get older, like it's important to have to deal with loss. It's important and it sucks, but because that's in everyone's life.
I've dealt with a lot of it, unfortunately in my life, and I always say there's nothing I can say to make it better. So you just have to get through it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't say anything to console you and what I'm saying, make you feel better or anything. Like you just got to get through it, and it doesn't get easier. It just changes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know.
Right.
So like people always say, time heals all wounds. I mean, yeah,
Kind of, in a way,
ish,
it helps you move
ish.
through it.
I can still rupture my Achilles again.
Yeah. Well, Gary, our friend Gary, who's a doctor and a stand-up comedian, when I was in a down spot, when I was either sick or hurt or something, I was feeling horrible, just down in the dumps. My mental was not good, and he told me about a term called concretization. Have you ever heard of concretization?
That's not a word, Rudy.
It's the doctor's word. It's a word
That
that
is
doctors
not a word,
say.
bro. You,
It's totally
they
ask
say
Gary.
they say black people say crazy shit. That is not a word. That is
I've
not a
been
word.
concretized.
Concrete. It sounds like some reggae shit. Concretize.
Welcome to the concretization. What? Well, here's what it is, but it's even more useful as a real word because it's the idea, it's the thought, it's the feeling that you have when you're down that you will never be out of it. That is what your brain does. It concretizes, or whatever the verb would be. It
God damn it,
makes you
Rudy.
think that it's never going to be done. But guess the fuck what? It will be. And just knowing that, just hearing that stupid freaking term from freaking Gary was like, oh shit, that does help. It's like my brain is telling me it's never going to be over. My thoughts, my feelings say I'm in this whirlpool that will never end. But guess what? There's so much space outside of this. There's so
Yeah.
many places to be and feelings to have when you get out of it. You're never going to be fully gone from a feeling of sadness, of loss, but
Sometimes, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously. So I produce my show here in Eugene. Uh,
mm-hmm,
it'll be the 43rd. I'd love if you can make it out on Wednesday.
right
It's
on
gonna be the last
43rd.
one on the 24th.
Yeah, you produced 43rd, 43 shows at Big City Gaming every 2 weeks for. So how long has that been? 2 years or what?
It'll almost be 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're closing. Big City's closing this. The end of this month.
Yeah, I lost 3 sources of income in one day.
Dang, man. You didn't even show your ding dong to anybody.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you could start that OnlyFans, Big Dev.
I'm gonna be in the back behind Big City, giving little
Yeah.
tuggies.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I haven't seen the tuggers around lately, so you could fill a need.
But it was super cool. Like I honestly like even just the last mic that I did there. Diana went up there and said some really beautiful things about just the
Hmm.
staff and the
Hmm.
environment that we've been able to create.
Love it.
And you know, it's gonna be tough, And so, like I said, and I'm debating. I got so much in the air right now, so I'm debating on whether I
Right.
want to shop the show around or try to do something else, or also just leave.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
are you thinking about moving cities, towns?
yeah, I got a lot of family in Seattle, and
Ah.
you know, I was almost full time entertainer for a minute. Like I don't have
Yeah.
a huge overhead. I worked 1 day a week as a bartender,
Mm-hmm.
and but I was able to pay my bills. Like the trivia paid my rent,
Mm-hmm.
comedy shows paid. Like what I'm saying, I was almost full time, and
Hmm.
so like I'm thinking about kind of switching it over and if go into a bigger market, get a real job, and then
Mm-hmm.
kind of start the grind over again somewhere else.
I mean, that's not an awful idea, Eugene. You get your feet wet, kind of cut your teeth a little bit, but if you want to grow, if you want to continue to build and become like a better, stronger comedian, it's not a bad idea to find a bigger market.
Yeah, yeah, just different crowds. I got
Oh,
very, you don't grow in comfortability. You need to be
100%.
uncomfortable. You need to be in that little unsafe place to
Mm-hmm.
really grow. So I want to go up and I want to find something different.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I think we all get stuck in that rut of comfortability.
it's easy to
And it's
do.
kind of scary sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
When you're really comfortable and everything feels, really good and just working and all that kind of stuff, it's like you just can't grow from that. And when are you going to learn a new lesson? And like, you know,
It's a fine line between comfort and complacence. Like
right? Yeah,
because you
yeah,
want to be feeling good. I kind of push back a little on that. You can't grow in comfort because you want the conditions to be good. You have to get your bases covered. You have to make it so that soil is going to help you grow. So it has to be the right conditions. You got to have a place. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You don't need a place to stay. Maybe I'm wrong. You don't need a job. But the way that I've experienced it, if I'm trying to do the basics to live my life, like, and that's taking 80% of my energy, it's really hard then to grow also as a performer, a writer, an entertainer, whatever,
for
comedian.
real, for real. And I mean, they talk about that. The 40-hour work week makes it so you can't live your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Capitalism is a prison.
And that was I felt was really cool about what I was doing was I was able to sustain, and I never felt like I was working.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Mm-hmm.
always say that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I just, but it also it, but then also when your hobby becomes your job, it
Mm-hmm.
starts to feel like a job.
It changes the game. When you start to monetize your passions, when you start to look at the things you love as a source of income, as a career, you got to start to shift. You got to start to
What
adjust things.
Nikola Jokic is like, nobody likes their job,
Yeah.
and that man hates his job.
Dude, he's only the best basketball freaking player alive. And he's like, this sucks.
He's like, this shit's trash. Like, you win a championship, people been dying their whole lives to try to win a championship. He wins one, he's like, when's parade?
Yeah, time to go hang out with my horses. Like all he when they won the last championship, he's
That's
like,
all he wants.
"Yeah, I just want to see more horses." Then he stayed for the parade, and at I loved his quotes were like, "I love parade."
Did he say that? Because
Yes.
the one before he was like, "When's parade?" He's like, He's like, "I need to go home."
Yeah. That's like you at fair. You're like, I got to get out of this situation. I'm done with this area. Not fair in general, but that was your advice to people who
Yeah,
would
yeah,
go for the first time. Leave if you're not feeling it.
yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I stayed. So I broke a record.
Heck
Something I've
yeah.
never done.
Mm-mm.
6 nights. I slept in 6 different places, and I didn't set up a tent.
What at fair
Yep.
this year?
Yep.
That is nuts. That's
I know.
that sounds that sounds for me that would be hard. That would be so hard sleeping in different. Oh my
I
gosh.
slept in a cuddle puddle one night. I slept in a
Yeah.
hammock one night. I slept in 3 of my homies' tents. I slept
Yeah.
in Shayla Mela one
Shayla
night.
in the meadow. You're just in the meadow chilling.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man. Now you say sleep. I bet you mean like 2 hours of whatever.
I mean, you it's hard to get a lot of sleep out there. Like if you're
Yeah.
sleeping really good, well, you got go walk the 8 then.
Do something else. Have a little
Go,
more fun.
yeah, go walk the 8. My
I,
homie out there, it's funny. My best friend, one of my best friends' family owns World Pies,
oh, love
and
it. Love World Pies.
I
Shout
remember
out to World Pies.
shout out World Pies, Kai Caldall, Awen,
Heck yeah.
um, and I grew up with them out there, and they used to be a little tense and little, you know what I'm saying? They got
Mm-hmm.
a mansion out there now.
Oh,
They got
they're
one of
living
them. They got chandeliers in that RV, and air conditioning, and
Yeah.
I'm bringing out an Xbox next year.
Yeah, right?
Like we about to get down. So that was
Uh,
super cool this year.
yeah, it's always fun to see how people do fare differently. Like I bring like 2 bags and some tent stuff, and that's about it. And that's like my rides are like, this is all you got? I'm like, I'm here for 3 or 4 nights by myself. Like, what the heck do I need? We're here to kind of camp and just get dirty and shit like that, aren't we? And so most people do not pack light.
100%. I mean, I I was talking to my homeboy actually about this. My boy Chet. You might know Chet. He's around the wine and stuff like that. But
Nice.
he was like, I don't want my camp to be comfortable.
Uh-huh.
He's like, because if my camp's comfortable, I'm just going to stay at camp the whole time.
I'm
And some
chilling at
people do
camp.
that. Some people go out
Mm-hmm.
there and they. I remember one year Kai didn't leave bump camp for the entire festival. Stayed at
Mm-hmm.
one camp.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, substances were involved, but
But
but like, I don't want to get stuck in one place. You know?
maybe on your 28th fair you might. Maybe on your
Yeah, yeah,
35th
maybe.
fair you might be
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'm
no.
chilling all weekend.
Well, so and that's what sucks. So this is my mom's 42nd fair,
Dang. Shout out
and
to mom.
her body just doesn't want to do it anymore. You know, she
Dude,
can't do it.
it's
And
brutal
so
out there.
she can't go and walk the 8 as much as she wants to. She can't go and see people in that one side and then that side, far side, and Miss Piggies, and we're gonna be saying some weird names.
Yeah. Fair, weird ass fair names, for sure. You know what
This
people
away
should
and
do?
that away.
Is like they should train for fair. You got to train for fair. Like go run with your shoes off while smoking a
Did you
joint on bare ground
did
and
you get a
see how
jog?
long
Did
you
you
can
get
do
a
that.
jog in? Because there people do go and jog the 8 like early morning, 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
saw
I've seen,
some of those. I
yeah.
didn't. I'm not a jogger. I hate running. Running
I
sucks.
hate running.
It's the
I will
worst.
I will get up and down the court and I will pin your shit off the backboard.
Yeah.
But I do not like just running.
Didn't run one step that whole time. Yeah. No, not a fan of running. Hips hurt, knees hurt, ankles hurt. Maybe I could do it a better way. It's just not my favorite method, and I think there's a lot better ways. But I didn't go running. I did see some runners. I did like a 10 to 20 minute just like body weight workout each morning. That's basically
I
what
did
I
a
did to
sun
start out.
salutation for the first time in a long time,
Yeah.
and it felt amazing.
Dude, treating your body right feels so good. It makes things better. And that was like, oh, why didn't I go over to those like yoga tents where everybody is and like hang out there and just do whatever? And like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
Just
jam.
stretch.
Yes.
Take a deep breath and stretch.
How fun is it to like,
So I took a deep breath. It was that spoken word. And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, I haven't done that in a minute.
Yes.
You know, like
Literally.
a real deep breath. Like,
You want to take one together? Can we do one
I
together?
would love to.
Dude, let's take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Exhale.
See?
Look at that. I'm feeling better already. Look at that.
See?
Look at that. Oh my gosh. But seriously, I think I did that this year too. There was like a moment on Sunday where I was like, I need to take a deep freaking breath. And I did, and it helps. That's the beautiful thing about working out, about breathing, about drinking water, is like it almost just kind of immediately makes you feel better. And it's like, why am I not doing
I
more
don't
of this
have
shit?
health. I don't have health insurance, so
Mm-hmm.
if I have an ache or a pain or an ailment,
Yep.
drink a big old glass of water.
Yeah. Give mom a hug, drink some water, take a nap.
I got a joke about how my boy said he started to feel his heart, so he switched to light beer.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I feel my heart. I'm gonna switch to Modelo's.
Modelo's that health beer. So you grew up playing sports, being a big time athlete. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's crazy because I fluctuated with my weight a lot in my life.
Mm-hmm.
In seventh grade, I was 6 feet tall and 360 pounds.
Oh, damn. That's a big guy.
I got down to 175 by 10th grade,
Oh, wow.
and I'm at 255 right now.
Right on.
So I'm like, you know, in the middle.
Yeah.
But I played every sport. I'm competitive,
Yeah.
and so I just love any kind of sport, any kind of nigga. I'll kill you at ping pong.
Balls of Fury over here.
I'm half Asian when it comes to ping pong. All right? Bro, they call me Devi-san. But like, I played tennis growing up. I wrestled. I did football, basketball. You know, anything. I never did soccer.
Yeah.
I was never a soccer kid.
We weren't kicking it.
Yeah, we weren't. Tribe Called Quest ain't got shit on me. I was never a soccer guy. I remember we played. You know, in like middle school when they like cycle through all the different sports and stuff like that to like kind of
See
make
what
you
you
figure
like.
out what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I loved ultimate football.
Okay. What's ultimate football?
It's ultimate frisbee, but with a football.
Okay.
So much better.
Just
I
kind of
can't
more
throw-
rugby-like.
I mean, I don't know. I can't throw a frisbee that well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they
Yeah.
kind of glide and hover. But I
Yeah.
was picking niggas off. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was doing the whole thing.
You were
It
getting
was so
work
much
done.
fun. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Ultimate. Never even heard of ultimate football. It
So
sounds
much better than ultimate frisbee.
It's like football with no. Did you have flags?
No, it's just ultimate frisbee,
Uh huh.
but with a football.
Oh, can you not run with the frisbee
Yeah.
in ultimate frisbee?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I
Okay,
think you
fun.
take 2 steps, maybe.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. Something like that. I know there was a basketball game in the scene recently, and maybe a kickball or something like. It'd be fun to have like a monthly game. You know what I mean?
would love
Like
that. Yeah.
just some
Especially like
hoops.
this time of year.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But next year, like the basketball game was actually super fun.
Yeah,
It was
believe
quirky and weird and had kinks and stuff like that. But
Yeah, yeah.
next year, I think we'll be able to do something pretty cool.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's fun. It's just that's the thing you forget when you get together with your friends that you're not usually physically active with, and you do an activity. You're like, oh, I like this.
Angie's daughter was out there.
Yeah,
I
it's like,
had Angie guarding her husband
uh huh.
because I was coaching.
You were the coach, okay.
I was coaching. You know what I'm saying? Me and Gwen.
You
We
were
were the
JJ
only people.
Redick up there.
Exactly. Well, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Type shit. Yeah.
Darvin Ham.
More Phil Jackson, but
Okay,
you know.
Phil Jackson. Yeah. You're running the triangle. You're like, Angie, post up.
I was like, you got to cut. You know what I'm saying? You got to see your man. All right, clear out
Motion. Set a screen.
space.
Box out.
If you don't set a down screen right now,
You're out of the game. I love it. I want to see Coach
I
Dave.
did jump in at one point.
Yeah, there you go.
I couldn't just watch everybody all the comics in the Eugene scene play basketball, and I'm not gonna get a couple
Yeah.
buckets up.
Yeah, you're like, come on, feed me in the post. I'm ready.
I'm eating up.
Yeah,
Like,
just
bro, honestly, Angie was low key the MVP.
I believe it.
I fucked up because I picked Chad Hurst
Mm,
on some racial shit.
yeah, there you go. Was he any good?
No. No.
Friend of the show, Chad Hirsch.
Bert and Angie on the same team, they were like John Stockton and Karl Malone.
Was Bert Malone or was Bert Stockton?
Bert was Malone.
Oh, dang, Angie.
Angie was hitting mid range. She's like, I've never played basketball before. I was like, don't lie to me.
Never
She's hitting
played.
little 13-foot jumpers. A 13-foot jumper is a hard one to hit. All right.
Yeah, if
15
you've
feet,
never played
whatever,
basketball, get real.
you know.
Yeah. No, I love that stuff. That's so good. So have you been on it at all lately? Have you been like, what's your health looking like these days? Or how do you try to feel healthier these days?
Um,
Water.
I haven't been on it as much recently. I still go down. I'll go run down like WJ Bridge every once in a while. I live right by there, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll catch a wild hair. Me and my, I mean, Jay. Jay's always in the gym, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll go and get some jumpers up. I think my biggest thing has been mental health, and I know that
Mm,
the physical health helps with the mental health at the same time.
completely.
And it's like
Big part.
that runner's high and that feeling that you get after you exerted as much as
Mm-hmm.
you possibly can,
Mm.
giving it your all.
I love it.
That's mental and physical. You know what I'm saying?
Heck
I'm out
yeah.
there. I'm giving it my all. It's like, and that's what I was saying earlier was like how I don't like running, but I will get after it if I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing something.
Yeah.
Like I did
Yeah, yeah.
tennis for a long time, and that was a funny one because it's like uh, it it's super physical.
It
Like
really is,
I don't know
yeah.
if you've ever played tennis.
It's like all core.
It's all core. It's all lateral movement. It's all like stuff that you don't really normally do. I
Mm-mm.
don't normally shuffle that hard.
Yeah, right?
You know, but also,
Backhands and overhand. I
but
love
yeah,
it.
backhand, forehand.
Yeah.
Like it's I really enjoy that sport a lot. I haven't done that one in a while, but me and my ex girlfriend used to go out all the time and just go play tennis, just
Yeah.
just for fun.
Love it. Have you
Yeah.
ever played pickleball?
I haven't,
Me neither.
but it seems like it's like the biggest sport in the world.
People freaking love
You
it.
know that what the down by Jefferson or
Uh-huh.
ATA, they got that
Uh-huh.
pickleball court where the old kid sports spot is.
Oh yeah.
They go crazy. It's like people lining up to play pickleball. I used to get so mad
Mm-hmm.
at freaking the YMCA back in the day. They would do pickleball, and I'd be like, dog, I'm
We
trying to run fours. All right, I'm gonna need y'all to take this anywhere else.
Oh my gosh. I deal with so many pickleball. I worked today and there was pickleball today. One of the guys at the club I know, he's like, every day's a good day when there's pickleball. I'm like, what? But good for freaking you.
Yeah,
Good
no,
for
yeah, for
you.
sure,
If
for
you can
sure.
get pickled every day and just have that time of your life, hell yeah.
I mean, like I said, I love ping pong. I like tennis. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'd like pickleball too. I don't
Dude,
like
it's
badminton.
but pickleball's more it's you like ping pong and tennis, pickleball's right in the middle. Totally
Yeah,
right in the middle. It's like human
badminton.
size with
That used to piss me off too. In middle school, like I said, we shuffled through all the different sports or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Loved volleyball, loved basketball, loved all. My PE teacher would do badminton for like it felt like 6 months.
Yeah.
He would. I think it's just because he was really good at it, so he
I
would just like beat down on the kids.
probably the fewest injuries in badminton too.
I can see that. Oh,
You
but
know,
no, most injuries is what racquetball.
racquetball. Oh yeah, that's in the court, the box.
That's in the box. Yeah,
Yeah,
dangerous
racket.
sport.
It's like high flying action in racquetball, man. Like it's like you're in a friggin' Born Identity in there.
I'm telling you, it's terrifying. I, it's not a joke, but it's like I have an idea that all sports should be like full contact,
Like yeah,
like golf.
yeah.
Like, what if golf was full contact?
And you just had to get your shit done before someone nailed you. Like doubles in tennis would just turn into singles with somebody running across to just slam the
Just
opponent.
deck them,
Yeah.
deck them.
full, full contact bowling. Yuck. Oh man.
You see what I'm saying? Like, all sports would be better full contact.
Except for football, American football. There that one's no contact.
Just like a therapy session.
Yeah. Which is like what do we do now? How do we stop this guy?
NASCAR, full contact NASCAR.
Yeah, it'd be done a lot sooner. That'd be good. I don't care about NASCAR. I don't know. I've never watched NASCAR.
Okay, is NASCAR a sport?
Yeah, people think it is. Also, could you be doing that driving for that long in those conditions? You're in full body gear. You have to like try imagine holding the wheel straight at freaking 80 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Now
okay,
double
all
that
right.
and go in circles with 50 dudes and cars around you. Like,
All right. Okay. You know what? Honestly, my homeboy back in the day got into a physical altercation with his father
oh damn. I've seen
about
one of
if
those.
about if NASCAR was a sport. But you just convinced me right there for the first time ever that okay, I can see what you're talking about.
It might be a physically demanding thing. Yeah. Okay. Now, I do I watch it? No. Do I know anybody other than Jeff Gordon? No.
What's homeboy's name? There's the one black
Richard
driver.
Petty? There's a
There's the
black
one
driver.
black driver.
Nice.
He's like sponsored by Jordan.
Oh, nice. I love it. I don't know who it is.
Ah, fuck, what is I forget his name.
Come on.
I know. I'm a bad ally.
Do you know the black hockey players?
No, God, no.
Yeah.
Hockey's never been like yeah. That's just something I can. I mean, I can't ice skate for shit. I can roller skate.
Dude. Yeah, man, not me either. I can't roll. I don't know. I look like a baby giraffe when I'm on the ice. It's not good. It's not good.
It's I don't know why. Okay, I tried snow. I see, and that's another one. Snowboarding. All my homies love snowboarding, and it
Yeah.
is physically demanding. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure,
Super.
dude.
You know, and like honestly, more than I think, like skateboarding or I've never surfed either. You know, that's one.
So hard.
I got to imagine that's impossible. I don't even know
Dude,
how they do
I
it.
don't think anybody can do it.
It's just all fake.
It's all fake. It's all AI. Yeah. No, I went surfing one day on tiny baby waves in Korea, and I just got beat to shit. It felt like I played a full ass football game at the end of like 20 minutes in the water on a board. I'm like, oh god, I can't do this at all.
I think honestly, that whole like setup where you have to like paddle and get your board, you know, to where it needs to be and stuff like that.
I'm going.
Like
I'm going.
that stuff's crazy.
No way, man. So, Uh, when you think about it, when you think about health, when you think about comedy, when you think about doing your thing, when do you find that you're on your game most as a comedian? Like, what is going on? How does your life look when you feel most in the pocket on stage?
That's an interesting question, actually. It's kind of hard to put your finger on,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that I obviously like when you're after the fourth show,
Mm-hmm.
I'm cooked.
You mean like of a weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
You,
last night, I was cooked.
mm-hmm.
And I could tell, like I'm running around trying to making sure everything's happening and stuff like that. And so I think, but I'm not gonna lie, my fourth set last night was probably my best one that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And
That,
so even after exerting myself, I'm still still being ready to go, and
mm-hmm.
next man up, next shot, like still being able to like sink it at. That's what I love. Like when I'm hooping, I used to do. Um, I would just I would run from one side of the gym with the basketball as fast as I possibly could, pull up a three.
Mm-hmm.
And
There you go.
it's a Mono Ginobili thing actually, and
Yeah,
he would
okay.
do it with a weighted vest on, which is crazy.
Mm,
But like
love it.
one side of the gym, back, 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 do that 20 times, 30 times. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And just
yeah.
as you want to be, and then after that, you go and shoot free throws.
Mm.
And as tired as you possibly can be, and still
Mm-hmm.
being able to have the mental strength to like do what you're supposed to do, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's you touch on something really important and smart there is that so many athletes train, they bust their ass, and then they train again. And then they try to do the thing when they're low on energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like go through a full workout and then get up 1,000 shots. Go through a
yeah.
full training regimen and then play fours. You know what I mean? Like go through your entire workout and then go do the thing that is
You want
hard.
to be the most tired that you possibly can be, and still try to do it, and that's
Mm-hmm.
and that's a part of that mental thing, I'm Mamba mentality always,
There it
but
is.
if you can go through all of that,
Mm-hmm.
rupture your Achilles, and then still hit a free throw,
Yeah,
shout out my guy.
there it is. But people want, I think people want things to be easy, and you don't get better when things are easy.
Right,
Like people want it to be smooth sailing, and that's okay. Smooth is good, flow is good, being in the zone is good, but also 9 times out of 10, the circumstances are not what you want them to be.
but when things are not easy and you're
Mm-hmm.
still in the zone,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, when you push yourself to the limits, and
Mm-hmm.
that's that. So I remember when Kobe died, I was kind of blown away. Like the first celebrity that ever died that I cared about was Michael Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and that was I love Michael Jackson. Like
Yeah.
that was my shit.
Yeah. Grew
Um,
up with him. I'm sure I grew up with Michael Jackson. Hell yeah, I did.
exactly, of course. But when Kobe died, I saw just how much that mama mentality thing is like. You can put that in every aspect of your life
Mm-hmm.
about trying to be the best that you possibly can be every day. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw this interview with Tyson Chandler talking about Kobe on his last Olympic team and how they were at this like festival with all these other athletes, all these other Olympic athletes. They were happy to see, it's supposed to be a celebration. Everyone's having fun. And Tyson Chandler was like, and Kobe after 40 minutes, he's just like, man, all these motherfuckers, it's like all these fucking athletes, I got to get out of here. He's like, fuck this place. So he was taking your advice. And when he wasn't feeling the vibes, he's like, I got to get out of fucking Olympic Village because fuck these
yeah.
athletes. He's like, I hate it. He's like, even in this celebration, in this celebratory phase, Kobe was like, fuck all this. I'm better than or I got to
Yeah,
take
no,
it
for
out on
real.
these motherfuckers
He was like, I don't even
somehow.
want to be around y'all.
Yeah. And that's great for some people. If you are like trying so hard to get to the top of that mountain, You know what I mean? I feel like there's a place for that. Absolutely, Mamba mentality. But at the same time, what does that take away from your experience otherwise? I don't know. And it's different for everybody.
Well, I mean, and I think it's the obsessive nature, right? So it's like, he was obsessed,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't like that's honestly scratch mama mentality is being obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you like, and that it's a certain feeling you get when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you just want to do more of it, and you just want it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just has like, and and like you said, that doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
That's not everybody's take on it.
Yeah.
So it's like finding your rhythm and your way to go about it is definitely important.
Yeah. I was trying to think of comedians who might embody the Mamba mentality, and the guy I think of a little bit is Bill Burr. Bill Burr is a guy who, when I saw in person, the level of craftsmanship and professionalism was astounding,
Yeah,
completely unmatched. And this was on a worldwide tour. And then not too much long later, I saw a tweet from him where someone was like, "Oh my God, the Pats," because Bill Burr's from Boston, big Boston sports fan, and he was like, some fan was like, "Oh my God, you're doing a show during the Super Bowl of the Pats." He's like, "I could never." Like the fan on the tweet said that, but Bill Burr then was like, "Well, that's why you'll never have a worldwide tour. That's why
right.
you'll never be a world famous whatever." I don't even. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, oh yeah, oh yeah. It's like I have to say fuck the Eagles. I have to say screw the Blazers when it comes to comedy. When it comes to meeting my goals, it has to be prioritized the things I want to achieve versus my identity as a fan, as a whatever.
right.
Uh, your identity as that thing has to take precedence over most other things, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, do you remember when everybody was all the comics were giving advice
Maybe,
on
I don't know.
on Facebook? They were like, "Here's my advice.
Oh, a lot of
Here's
people
my
did it.
advice."
Yeah.
Luke's was the only one I like actually paid attention to.
Luke Miller, friend of the show.
Yes, and he was like, look at the promoter, look at the staff,
Mm-hmm.
look what they're doing. How are you engaging with them? How are they engaging with you? How do you want to be treated? How do you like all these
Mm-hmm.
like? There's so many different things about that, like where it's like, how can I get the most out of any situation?
Yeah.
And so I talk about that with comedy too. It's like some people will be like, I don't take advice from blah 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 blah. Blah. I take advice from anybody
Mm-hmm.
if it holds water, holds weight. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I'm not losing out on any possible like information or any possible circumstance or anything.
Mm-hmm. Because think about it, like what you can learn from anybody. You've been through so many different experiences than I have. And just because one person has done comedy for X years or one person is X years old, it doesn't fucking matter. Remember what it's like? I remember what it was like when I was in my 20s. What if now I can talk to people in their 20s and learn from them and
Yeah.
see myself in them and learn
I
how to
mean, Rudy, you
continue to
told me
move forward?
something like in my first couple months where you were like, everything's been said, but it's how you say it. And
Everything.
I was like, that's dope. I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I needed that. And I think,
Everything's been said, but I haven't said everything.
yeah,
Is how I put it because it's like, oh yeah, just because he's talking about whatever doesn't mean that I can't talk about it. I just have to make sure that it's unique to me and my experience.
100%. And but see, I was always a big hater of ageism.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I know 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds who don't know a hot damn thing,
Yeah.
stuck in their ways,
Yeah.
never able to grow,
Mm-hmm.
And then I've met 12-year-olds who say the most profound shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and
Because
so
they're
like
taking it in.
yeah. If what you say holds water, I'm gonna listen to you for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
And and that's fun to listen to folks, and it's hard to know what to hang on to sometimes. Like but just what resonates with you. Someone says something and that either hits or it doesn't. And it's like, or maybe you'll hear it 5 years later and you're like, oh yeah, shit. I should have listened to that, or whatever the case may be.
And well, I mean that's what I figured out when I was a kid. Like I've been pretty much the same person since I've been like 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
for good and for bad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Your core
Um,
human is in there.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
I realized, and that's why why I started doing comedy is because I realized when I talk, people listen, and so I want to
Mm.
make sure that I'm saying something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's there's power. There's so much power in our words.
Totally.
So it's kind of all like what else do we have?
It's unbelievable to me. We can say things and then that idea goes in a person's brain. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and it's literally. Oh, and my mom, she did the radio show for a really long time, and it was all about human
Uh-huh.
connecting with another human,
I love it.
and it's literally the coolest thing that we can do in our lives. Honestly, to me, when you
Mm-hmm.
meet a best friend that you'll never see again,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's just so powerful, and we have a responsibility to hold that and
Totally.
make that worth something.
Right. And that's one of the things I love so much about doing the podcast. It's such a great opportunity to connect with fellow comedians. I love one-on-one connections. I love interpersonal communication. That to me is so valuable, and we don't always get the chance to do that as much
No,
as
we have
I
to
would
talk in
like.
front of a bunch of fucking people and never
Yeah.
see them again and shit like that. You know.
What are all these people doing just sitting down? Jeez, friggin' dorks. No. Thank you for going to shows and sitting down. I love that. Thank you all.
Yes, yes, yes. Please come to my shows.
Yeah. But and so it is nice to just be able to sit down with somebody one on one. It's just a way to have a bunch of dates with people.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a great way to connect. That's what I'm about, is points of connection. And like, when you can talk with someone about something that lights them up, you feel lit up. You feel excited.
Well,
You
so
get some of those juices.
as somebody, you know, I talk about it a lot, but as somebody who's biracial, you know what code
Mm-hmm.
switching is,
Oh yeah.
you know, and so it's a good and a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's necessary
I can fit in anywhere.
for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'll be able to find a common ground with something. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even like anywhere, and it's. I think I mean again as comedians, that's what we have to do. We got to go on stage and fit in
Mm-hmm.
and relate. And
Well, you use an interesting
don't get me
term.
wrong, make them uncomfortable. You know, I like to make them uncomfortable,
Yeah. But
but
fitting in is different than I think what we do as comedians, unless you're pandering to the audience. Fitting in is bending who you are to be more like the people around you. And that in some ways is antithetical to what we've been talking about as comedians, as being able to speak our truth, being able to say what we believe is right. The true measure, I think, of whether or not you have staying power as a comedian is not fitting in. It's whether you are able to like speak your truth in any setting and people will be able to understand, and that the difference is fitting in versus belonging. I've read too much Brene Brown and Maya Angelou kind of stuff to be
hell
like,
yeah,
it's like belonging is what you want, because belonging means you are you and you belong in
right,
that place, versus fitting in means you have to shave your corners, you have to cut your edges so you can fit in, versus belonging, which is when you take your big wad of self to whatever space you're in and you feel present, you feel alive, you feel honest and authentic. And that's
I
kind
like
of,
that. I like that a lot.
it's, I would really suggest the book. It comes from Braving the Wilderness by Brene Brown. It's a short read, it's a good book. so, and she's a researcher on shame from the University of Houston that I love. But it is so important for you to be able to do that as a comedian, right? Because you
Yeah,
got to do shows in Eugene or Arizona or New Hampshire
bro.
and make all those
The
people
worst
laugh.
I've ever bombed. Pasco, Washington.
I've heard stories of Pasco, baby. What
at
was
a
so
red
rough
at a
about it?
Red Lion,
Ugh.
the Grizzly Comedy Club.
How? Why? What made it so rough for you?
Bro, okay. I was hosting the show, but they still wanted me to do 20 minutes up top,
Oh, jeez.
and you know when your first joke doesn't land,
Mm-hmm.
and then your second joke doesn't land, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then your third joke doesn't land. Oh my god! And I'm feeling myself, Rudy. This is the
Yeah.
first time I performed out of state. I
Uh-huh.
went up with Nathan Hart, and
Yeah.
we had hotel room paid for. Both had our
Yeah.
own hotel room.
Ooh.
Steak dinner,
Feeling good.
cash.
Money.
I'm feeling myself.
Living it up.
I stunk that place up. They were, I had it where where somebody came up to me after the show, just like a patron, and
Uh-huh.
they were like, "It just wasn't your crowd." All right, if a comedian comes up and tells me that, whatever. Okay, that's one thing. If a fucking patron is like, "You tried,
This wasn't it.
you meant well."
Yeah. Or you'll get this one. You'll get, I thought you were funny. I thought that was fun. Oh, great. Invite your friends or whatever, you friggin' jerk. I've heard that, to be fair, I've heard that's a rough room. I've heard it's a challenging place to get people on your side. And that is one of those great learning experiences. You're like, oh shit,
No, I learned so much from that.
this is an away game. And I
Because
have
I
to,
eventually caught my stride by the end of it. You know what I'm
nice.
saying? I finally got into my groove. And then, me and Nathan do a lot of shows together. We went up to, I did the Diablos in Portland.
Yeah. Dante's.
Dante's. There it is.
Yeah.
Something devilish.
With a duh.
Nobody in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was two couples
Yeah.
and then the comedians and the bar staff. And it's a big ass room,
It is a big room.
you know? And I
Mm-hmm.
went up first again, 20 minutes. I didn't get a single laugh.
Damn.
I mean, I got a couple laughs from Tyler Jones was there. I got a couple laughs from him.
TJ, baby.
I got a couple laughs from the bar staff and stuff like that. I could
There you
not get this two couples to laugh to save my life.
Yeah,
And-
man.
but I did it. I committed. I stayed
Yep.
steady. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, just goes to show you some nights it's just a job. You just got to do the work. You just got to, okay, I got 20 minutes. I got to do my material. I got to do my best. I got to get through the time and try to make it fun for at least
Nathan went
myself.
up and said he was like, "Well, this was almost fun."
Yeah.
Because like nobody did good.
But you thought about laughing. They were
Yeah,
there.
you know, you came to see titties, but you got me. I mean,
You
and my
got
titties,
something
so.
else. Yeah, I mean, those nights are such just a part of it. Those are
Yeah.
just part. You have to do it if you want to be good. You have to go through those nights and especially living in like mid to small size markets like we do. It's a different ball game when you go out of town. And I've been a local or regional comic most of my time doing comedy, and I really have to like be in a good place when I'm going on the road. I have to be ready I have to like prepare. I have to train. And so when I feel like shit, if I were to try to go on a long, tour, 1 or 2 week road trip after like not getting enough sleep for the last week or being really depressed or not working out for 2 weeks, that kind of a thing. Like,
I mean, and that's like those real like road dog comics who are like out there. You just gotta go and do it, and
yeah,
that kind of sucks, honestly.
not always fun.
You know, that
Uh-oh.
sounds kind of terrible, low key, but
It
you
can
got
be
to do it.
tough.
You know.
Well, you know who else is fun to see their progression is Sam Miller, who's been
Oh,
on the show. Sam's posting all the time. He shares the honest stuff, the highs and the lows and the personal stories and the comedy stories and all that kind of stuff. And he just paints a really, I think, honest picture of what it's like for him as a comedian and gives people a real glance into the life of what it's like.
well, and I was talking about that with Nathan and Seth because when we went down to Eureka
Mm-hmm.
for Savage Henry, uh, just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the zoo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hung out in the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
watched Legally Blonde.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Which
slept
has
on the
some
steps.
racy jokes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
They're good. They're dirty and legal. Some of the jokes they slipped in there, it's like there's a bunch of crazy jokes in
It's
there.
very early 2000s of them,
Yeah, it's
late
dated
90s, early
as
2000s of
yeah.
them.
So
But
y'all are
just,
just hanging out, having fun.
but yeah, just enjoying like every part of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because like I always say that like the best time is on stage.
Yeah,
The best time. You
that's
know,
the
even if it's a shitty time.
yeah.
You know, but enjoying every aspect of it, the travel, the
Mm-hmm.
dinner, the you know what I'm saying, the
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, you know, like enjoying every part of it. And that's something that again we got to take in the real world. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Enjoying every little moment. I always say that if you appreciate every little moment, I'm appreciating this moment right now. You know
Hell
what
yeah.
I'm saying? If you appreciate
Mm-hmm.
every little moment, by the end, when the curtain's called,
Mm-hmm.
you'll have a good life.
Yeah.
You know?
If you if you can appreciate the regular ups and downs of your normal life, you're golden. You are,
Yeah,
that is the way to do it. Because if you can enjoy a cup of coffee in Eugene just as much as you can on the Mediterranean, then you're set. You
for
know, like,
sure. I mean, sometimes I'll just walk down the street and I'll just like smell the air
yeah,
and
dude,
just be and just you know, and I'm just like, that's nice,
that's the
nice
Oregon
misty.
Country Fair coming out in you right there.
Listen, I'm a hippie, dog. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
I like I
know.
said, I don't wear hemp clothes, but it's in my essence.
Yeah, you got hemp blood.
I got hemp blood.
Yeah, it's in there. There- yeah, no, I love that. No, and you do carry this vibrancy about you, and I think that's what draws people to you is that you are happy. Now, and I don't. Happy is a weird word to use sometimes, but you do try to bring the energy and the
I I
love and show people
I
that.
love reciprocating love. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I give a lot of love out, and I get it
Mm-hmm.
back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so
I
it's
feel like fair is one of the places where you get the most karmic waves. If you put that love into fair, if you are patient, if you accept not everything is going your way, if you accept conditions will not be perfect, and you are willing to contribute your
and
gifts,
to help try to make them perfect.
to make it
Then
the
somebody's
best
going
it
to
can
do
be.
that for you.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And it
Yeah.
comes and not everybody has that joyful of experience every single time. I've seen a lot of things about theft or poor
Yeah.
experiences or
Yeah.
whatever. That stuff does happen, and that is,
I've went to Whitebird. I got my sticker.
yeah,
It's not a party till you go to Whitebird. They give you a
yeah.
sticker afterwards.
Oh yeah, you did make that joke on stage this year. That's it. I'm also. It's fun to build your fair set over year. That's another thing that I look forward to doing over the years is like writing new fair jokes every year. And I could build, we can all build big ass fair sets because everybody's fair is so unique and there's so much to draw from. Oh my gosh.
I like it because like you said, you've only been going for 2 years, but you're starting to get the energy.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
I'm from around here, so I saw the trickle down effect of fair. I've lived with fair people for the last 40 years,
Yeah,
So
yeah, of
it's like
course.
I get the vibes, and I'm from here, and I love
It's
you.
like a dab, a concentrate version of Eugene.
Exactly. Yes, for sure. It's like boom, Eugene just zoomed in as much as possible. Yeah,
And just like condensed itself.
it really is. Yeah, and then you're like, whoa, that was a lot.
A little
I'm
too
glad it's
much.
not every week. couldn't do this all the time.
Well, we got Teddy Bear Picnic too.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked for Teddy Bear Picnic. I was looking it up today, August
Yeah, I think
18th,
it's
baby.
August 17th.
Yeah, 17th, 18th, kind of is. It's that weekend. What
Yeah.
those days? So.
So that's super fun because camp wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Put up a tent. You camp in the middle of the 8.
Heck yeah, man. That's
You know what I'm
fun.
saying? And
Yeah.
we all just got have a potluck,
Yeah. I
vibe
love it.
out,
Heck yeah,
children
man.
running around,
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep that weekend free because that I was sad that I missed it last year. Because I do like being a part of Fair Family, and I want to continue that over the years.
Exactly. It's something that's super dope. And like I said, being 3 generations out there, like I actually never got to go with my grandma,
Mm.
which sucks. But
Yeah.
when I'm walking around out there, I'm just like you know, I feel like she's still there, and
Totally. You get the grandma
it's a cool
vibes.
feeling to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Uh, and kind of like this is kind of in line with that, but as we kind of try to wrap up today, and we've touched on a lot of stuff that you've learned over the years, but thinking about when you started comedy and where you are now, what would you like to impart on young Devin? What do you wish young Devin would have known, or what do you think would have aided younger Devin in his comedy journey so far?
It's funny. I wrote a poem about that, and I actually didn't share it this year as spoken word.
Mm,
But my homegirl, Lil Dev. So
mm.
we got Big Dev and Lil
Oh,
Dev.
yeah, she's
I think you
kicking
know
it.
Lil Dev.
Yeah, she's around.
She comes to a lot of my shows and stuff like
Hmm.
that. She came over and slept over at my mom's house. I wasn't even here, and she found a picture of myself,
Mm.
and she sent it to me, and I just, God damn it, Rudy. I
Take your time.
I wanted to tell myself what I needed to know,
Mm,
and
mm,
to show up authentically as myself every day,
mm-hmm,
not get too down on myself when I fuck up. Know that lovers are gonna leave, people are gonna die, people might not be what they seem, but the people around me will bring out my best self.
mm,
And so I'm a reflection of the people I surround myself with.
mm.
Dropping a gangster ass tear on you right now.
Hell yeah. Cry those tears, G. I, I love it. Yeah, dude. No, I think that's beautiful, and I think you do as much as anybody, take the time to feel the love from others. And so I think it's beautiful that you acknowledge that and you take the time to do it and you take the time to be sad, to feel
Oh yeah,
sorrow
it's
about
okay.
yeah, like people don't want to do that, especially men of color. Like that's a hard thing for people to
Yep.
do. And so the fact that you can do that shows a lot of grace, humility, and loss of ego, like you mentioned earlier in the show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got some loss of ego in my pocket right now, actually. But yeah, no, I was so blessed to grow up the way that I did, and like I always say, I would never trade my shit for your shit.
Hmm.
I don't think you would ever trade your shit for my shit. You know what
Nope.
I'm saying? I already went through my shit. I
Yeah.
still got to go through it.
Yeah.
But I was blessed to have an amazing mother,
Hmm.
crazy ass father, and that
Hmm.
made me exactly who I am. And
Yeah.
most days I really like myself.
Good. I love that. Yeah,
You
we
know,
should all be liking ourselves, and I know most of us really like Deb. I don't hear people talking shit about you, so it's great, man. You put
that's
it
good,
out
man.
there.
I made that a point in my life. I remember at one point it was like if anybody ever talks crazy on me, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. I'd be like,
You
what's the
know.
deal with that? No, I love that. Right on, man. I love what you share. I love the love that you spread and that you're trying to put vibes out there that are authentic and honest and fun and joyful and connective. And you do that. And I think like being a part of fair for as long as you have, like it builds it in you a little bit more, whether you know it or not.
100%.
So
100%. It's my recharge. It's so amazing to be able to like, as comedians, right? It's so amazing to be able to make other people feel good.
love it.
And that makes me feel good, and then they make me feel good, and then we all feel good, and then we're all having this like collective good time.
This collective joygasm, man. When
Yeah.
you're in a room with everybody laughing at the same shit, it is magic.
So I talk about it all the time. I say the reason I started doing comedy is because I always wanted the whole bar to pay attention to me, and now they pay too. Also, in 8th grade, my English teacher told me I couldn't get through life sweet talking people.
And you're like, you want to bet?
Bitch, listen. But I realized this just a few months ago is that collective, when we all agree, we can't agree about shit. We can't agree about politics. We can't agree about what pizza toppings we want. Do we want pineapple? Do we not want pineapple? When we all laugh at the same time, we all agree for once, you know? And it's a cool thing to be able to conduct and to be able to do for other people and for myself.
Preach. I love it.
When I was doing my spoken word thing, I don't know if you pulled up, but Hazel was like, "Oh, he's on his Martin Luther King shit."
Did you say that out loud? Did she say it at the show?
Yeah, no, she didn't say it at the show. She was walking around with Chad and Nathan.
Yeah.
And they came to my spoken word. They were like, "Oh, he's on his Martin Luther King shit."
Were you?
I was for sure.
Yeah.
I had white people raising fists in the air and feeling the pain of 400 years of oppression.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, Dev. You gotta let us. We need to feel that more.
For real. I mean, well, that was the thing. I did the 4J during 2020. I did the 4J protest at the whatever the state building. What the fuck is it called? But I did a lot of stuff during that time. It was a really hard time for me, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I had people reaching out to me and being like, "Well, what do we do next? Well, how can I help? How can I be an ally?" It's like, bro, I'm literally just black.
Yeah.
And I get it when I talk. It might sound different.
Yeah.
But like black people and white people reaching out to me. You know, and so I saw this old man, probably 70 years old, and he was just crying, weeping, like heavy sobs, middle of the day at a protest, just so tired, so worn out. And it's the coolest picture I've ever had taken of me. It's me with my fist up, and I have 150 people at the state building or whatever with their fists up, heads down. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a really powerful moment, and I just wanted people to understand that what that fist means and like how powerful you can be. You know, in whatever you do. So. And so I did that at Country Fair too during my spoken word. My spoken word was so different than everybody else's. I have some like hip hoppy, rappy stuff.
Yeah.
But I
Because you were into hip hop.
Oh yeah, of course. Come on now. Yeah.
Like you rapped though.
Yeah. These lyrics on my spirit is everything. The fear it's more than imagination. It's pain and inspiration. Gonna live to these expectations. So let them haters keep hating. Because one day I'm gonna make it with love as my motivation. Then one day I'll be up in lights and known by the nation, killing it on the mic, still murdering different stages and representing the town and the city I was raised in. The 541 in the northwest location, and so I'm on my knees day and night begging and praying, listening for words of the wise as to what he is saying. Because if you live in my shoes, this money needs making and these bills ain't playing, but these cops hold me down with their rules and regulations. I've been going a little crazy with the moves that I've been making, but my mic's making moves, so my mind is straight mistaken. Am I fucked or am I lucky with this life that I've been placed in? Because I know I got some homies who's homeless by the station. Words are just words, but I'm gonna kill it with the statement. You're never gonna get famous, only aiming on the payment. Niggas think they fresh, but on the real, it's all the same shit. Just broke ass niggas all rapping about how they made it.
There you go, Dev. Yeah, big Dev with the bars. Look at that. I love it, man. We'll have to, dude, if you want to get together and freestyle sometime, you can watch me make a fool of myself anytime you want.
I would love to.
Hell yeah.
Me and my boy
Hell
Olaf, it normally is about 3 o'clock in the morning, but we'll just go.
Oh, yeah.
And kick back and forth. Once you start, you get the vibe right, you start kicking back and forth, it's over.
It's so much fun. Yeah, I love that stuff, man. It's so good. Well, let's make it happen sometimes. I would have asked you if you wanted to end with anything, but I think those bars were the best thing to end with, my man.
I appreciate you, man.
Dude,
I always love talking to you, Rude.
It's a pleasure. I love seeing you grow. I love seeing you thrive. I'm excited to see your next moves, wherever they take you. If people want to find you, if people want to know more about Devin Jones, how could they do that?
Find me in a bush somewhere.
Find Devin in a bush. Oregon Country Fair bushes somewhere. Devin's in them.
I am Devin Jones Comedy on Instagram, Devin Jones on Facebook, and Eugene's one black friend.
There it is. He's my one black friend in Eugene. Devin, thanks for spending the time. I'm stoked to have you in my life, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
Right on. Well,
let's do it again soon, all right?
Heck yeah. Stick around for a minute when I push stop, but thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I got you.
Later, my man. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Not jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. Jokes in the gym. With Rudy Tyburczy.